Welcome to another AMA with Kadena Project Network. In this episode, we will be speaking with the team from Kadena Bulls. This conversation was recorded on August 5th, 2022, live on Twitter Spaces. The views and expressions in this AMA do not represent the views of KPN directly and are not to be considered as financial advice. Please make sure to do your own research on the projects presented. Also make sure to follow our account to be alerted of new uploads. Now let's get started. Enjoy. Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. How's everyone today? Welcome to another AMA with Kadena Project Network. Today we're going to be speaking with the team from Kadena Bulls as well as KP Launch. Apparently they have some big alpha news they want to share with the community. So we're just going to be a few minutes here while we get set up. So kick back and just enjoy the fun while we get everything set up. Hey, how's it going today?
Hey, how are you doing?
Good. You're a little choppy there. Let's try a little bit more conversation. So, who exactly am I speaking to? My name's Chris, in case we haven't met before.
Hey, Chris, I am Kadi. Can you hear me, or is it still choppy?
Nope, that's much better.
All right, perfect.
Must have just
Yeah,
been a
Kadi.
little weak connection at the start.
Yeah, Kadi is the alias. Elaf is the real name, as you can see in our docs video from a few days ago. I don't know if you check that out. But yeah,
Once it's out there on the internet, it's out there, right?
yeah, exactly. So we're fully doxxed now. So it's it's been 6 months of just going by our aliases, so it's kind of interesting to pivot to real names, you know? It takes a
Yeah,
while to
I'm
get
sure.
used to. But yeah, everyone knows me as Kadi. I think we spoke because you had some issues getting into the Discord a couple of weeks back. I'm
Oh
glad we
yeah,
got that sorted
yeah,
out. That capture could be a little tricky.
yeah. Discord can be funny. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, happy to be on. Happy to, answer community questions, any questions anyone has.
Awesome. Just waiting. I guess we have someone from Katie Launch as well as going to be joining us. So just
Awesome,
wait for them to join up.
awesome. I see Terror Spaces in here as well. Shout out to them and everything they
Yeah,
do. And then our great head of
and
community
mint
Ryan in
it.
the crowd with the
Yeah.
Matrix Bull that he got customized.
Oh,
He
nice.
wants to speak. I'm sure he'll request. But yeah, Ryan's answering all questions in Discord all the time. Guy doesn't sleep.
Yeah, you need people like that when it comes to Discord, just to keep everyone talking and keep communicating and to answer questions when the team's just, asleep or, working on things. So hopefully we'll get the guys from Katie Launch in here soon as well, and then we can get things rolling here on the big exciting news that you guys have. I've been reading a little bit lately about reading through all like the Medium article that Katie Launch put out and going through your tweets and joining the brand new Telegram you guys just opened and all
Yeah,
lots of stuff
a
going on.
lot, a lot. We announced a lot today, actually. Yeah, we're gearing up. I mean, IDL's coming soon, 4 weeks from now, about. So just getting all our everything aligned, getting ready. So more major announcements is what's crazy. It's like we've made all of these announcements and we feel like we're barely scratching the surface of announcements.
Well, while we're waiting for the Katie Launch team to join up, why don't we just give a quick little run? I'm sure almost everyone here listening already knows what Katie Bulls is all about and arcade fun. But for the fact of people that might be listening to this as a recording or something in the future, wanting to
Yeah.
know what is Katie Bulls, why don't you give the quick 30-second elevator pitch, like I say, about what the project's about and everything like that.
Yeah, so we like to call ourselves the gamified NFT platform of Kadena. So retro gaming reimagined, basically. We're bringing all of the classic games of the past to Web3, and we're bringing the ability to earn and, you know, profit from these games. So games like Tetris, Snake, Pong, Asteroids, classic games that everyone grew up playing. Everyone's familiar with the mechanisms, the mechanics. It's not hard to grasp, right? So rather than hitting high scores, you can actually earn the ARKD token in these games and go swap them in dexes or swap your arcade, stake your arcade, buy an NFT in the marketplace with your arcade. So that's what our IDO is all about. When we first launched, we launched as an NFT project, and we've kind of evolved and gotten to this point. It was me, Norris, and Patrick. Norizzy and Snow are the aliases. We all grew up together. We all grew up playing video games. We loved playing, Nintendo 64, Super Mario, uh, Smash Bros, all like the fun games of the past. And we thought, let's take our passion for Web3 and apply it, to this nostalgic gaming, and bring this to people that grow up in that similar environment of playing these retro games and loving them. Um, so really, that's the whole spiel. We're really excited about the IDO, and it's essentially uh, the arcade is the car, right? And the IDO is the fuel. Arcade token is really what's going to fuel our entire arcade platform, from launchpad to marketplace to the games to the custom game, which we actually just released a sneak peek of in the KD launch article. So if you haven't read that, go check that out. Um, and I think that covers most of the ground.
Yeah, I know. I've definitely spent my fair share of time playing the Tetris and Snake. I remember, like, everyone had those old, if you're old enough to remember this, those old Nokia phones that had Snake on it. And Snake was
Yeah,
one of the
yeah,
games that it was on
yeah,
every phone. Like the first mobile phones, that was like the game that was on every phone. So playing that was definitely a go-to. Pac-Man and Asteroids and Invaders were all games that I remember playing as a kid at the arcade at those like sit-down machines,
yeah,
and things like that.
yeah,
So yeah, they're all just very classics. Especially like Tetris is an all-around known classic for sure. So I know I've definitely spent my fair share of time spending playing those
yeah.
games
That's
there.
awesome.
And
That's
I've
awesome.
also spent a good bit of time going through like the marketplaces and all that kind of stuff. I'm noticing that you guys are getting more projects minting on your platform, which is awesome to see. It's great to see
Yeah,
a place for people to be able to, if they have a project, to come. I know that Kimonos are right now going through a mint, so that's pretty exciting. And Lazy Apes
yep,
started a few days ago. You got KDA Punks coming up on Monday. Like, yeah, things are really picking
yep.
up now. It's crazy. It's crazy how fast this space has moved just in the
Oh yeah,
past like
yeah.
3 months, 4 months. Like,
It's
like this crate
exponential.
went from, oh, it is.
It's been insane. When we started building in January, we had maybe 5 projects building on Kadena, and everyone back then was like so welcoming, but it was such an unknown, right? We were like early builders. There were no marketplaces. There's no way to mint an NFT. Everyone was kind of waiting on, like announcements for Marmalade or for Kadena to really take the first initiative when it came to NFTs. And then just this community and it's like brain trust, its brain power came together. Uh, Kitty Cad minted in April, and they really like paved the way. Gallinas as well, right? And they've been nothing but helpful from day one. And we kind of wanted to, pay it forward with these newer projects, such as Komodos and Apes. I mean, Punks are OGs too. Punks were there from the start, so we were thrilled to help, like over the moon to help them launch. So it's really cool. And like you said, Komodos are minting right now. So if you haven't grabbed a Komodo, head to arcade.fun, go mint yourself one. Some of the coolest art out there, I think. Some of the most unique art. Where are you going to get a Komodo on any other chain, right? you know. So yeah, it's really exciting. And uh, what's really cool about it is the conviction hasn't changed. 6 months ago, everyone had conviction when it came to KDA. Everyone was building for the future because they trusted the technology, they trusted what the founders were doing, and even the new projects coming in today are the same. So it's really cool to see that that hasn't changed. Everyone's still very welcoming and opening, and helpful. So it's awesome, and you don't really get that in other ecosystems once that exponential growth does happen. But within Kadena, it hasn't changed, man. Everyone's just building. No, it's a builder's market, you know. So it's really cool to see, and we're really, really happy to be launching these projects. We're really happy, like they gave us the opportunity to help them. And yeah, if you haven't minted apes as well, if you haven't minted an ape, it's still running. Go mint yourself an ape.
Yeah, I've snagged myself a few apes, a couple Komodos so far, so I'm definitely
Nice.
starting to collect my little collection as well. And I
Yeah,
have a few
nice.
bulls as well. Don't worry, I definitely bought a few bulls.
Awesome, awesome. You
I,
got any
I
rare
wasn't quick
ones?
enough on the mint. I think I have a rare one.
Nice,
Let's see,
nice.
but yeah, no, it's just great to see how quick that the community has come together. And once like one of those building blocks have been set by the other projects and stuff, now it's really time for people to really like show what they have to bring to the table. It's and it's the perfect time to build because we're not quite. No one's really watching. You can build quietly in the background and then just come out blazing, and like a lot of these projects seem to have been doing that, spending the last few months building quietly in the background, slowly building a community, and now just bang, here we are, kind of explode out
Yeah,
the door.
yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that because that's really the mindset we had when we started the previously the Kadena Bulls, now Arcade Fun. We wanted to build, and we wanted to build community first and foremost, build trust within the community, build a product that the community can use and get their feedback. Some brilliant minds, I say this on every spaces, some of the most brilliant minds are in the Kadena community. A lot of what we've built and implemented really started with an idea that they gave us. We just had to execute, and we really, really set forward to do that before we announced any token or any IDO launch, because we wanted to have a product to show before we released a token, because we see this in a lot of other ecosystems where there's a lot of over promising and under delivering with either just a gaming product, a token launch, and it leaves the bag in the community's hands, right? And then the creators just go off running with you know running off, right, without having built anything. So we really didn't want a repeat of that, and that's really another reason we went with the retro gaming, is because so many other platforms promise these open world sandbox GTA style games that require billions and billions of dollars of backing and like 1,000+ employees working for like a AAA studio like Rockstar, right? Which is just not realistic, for such a niche and small community as Canada, or at least small when we started in January. So we said, let's bring it back to the roots. Let's start with these classic games everyone knows and loves, and let's build from there. We built it as a foundation, and now we have a foundation to build upon. So next step of building that foundation, next building block is the IDO, and then post IDO we have our side scroller game, which is going to be powered by the Arkade token. So we're just building it up until really we. I don't think we're ever going to stop building. So like I don't know, we're gonna just build and build and build as much as we can, right? Because there's always new ideas coming into the fray, and there's always new ways to use Kadena and Pact, and we're seeing that with all the new projects coming out with like different angles to use Kadena, like Equal Bet in their wagering platform, and they're also launching on KDL, which is awesome. Like brilliant minds over there. And then you have DocuShield with their NFT securities, right? So you could secure your files. All of the mining projects. I mean, it's just there are so many ways to use the technology of Kadena that it's really, really, it's almost feels like there are infinite pathways
Mm.
for building.
Right, and if I could add to that, like it is definitely very overwhelming. And this is another reason, why an IDO is useful, right? Because we've been able to build what we've built so far, and not to say it's anything, super revolutionary by any means, but we have definitely um, created some solutions that haven't been there. We've created multiple different products. A lot on the tech side, whether it's through Discord authorization, earning stars that connect to these games, these custom games that we've built. Um, Obviously, the minting functionality, launching other products, our ability to help these other projects mint, and also trade on our marketplace, tracking all the activity. So you guys see all these features we have that we've built with very minimal resources, right? Like, like imagine when we do have more resources, we deck out our team even more. Snow's hitting me up with ideas on an hourly basis, basically. Like, can we do this? Can we do that? Like, yeah, we can, but like, give me, 2, 3 more devs, then we can implement these ideas, right? So, that's another reason why we're really excited for this IDO. Is yeah, the token is going to be awesome. Of course, we need the token to fulfill our ideas, but also the funds to fulfill, our more long-term ideas as well. So if you've seen what we've built now with our small team, like imagine what we're going to build when we have a much larger team. We're able to speed things up a lot more and continue to deliver quality as we go. And we've talked about before, like striking a balance between, we do want to release fast, but we also want to release quality. It's tough to strike that medium, but we definitely, like Kadi was saying, like don't want to overpromise, not even in terms of like how much we're going to deliver, but even like when we're going to deliver on certain things, right? It's tough to really gauge sometimes, um, but we appreciate definitely like the community's patience and everything, and everyone seems to be loving everything thus far. So um, I'm gonna continue on ranting. There's a million things on my mind, but so just stop me at any point. But I know Snow, you got something
Um,
to say.
yeah, no, nothing too crazy. Just I wanted to thank everyone for tuning in, and sorry I was a couple minutes late. But really, what I wanted to just say is just to piggyback on what you had mentioned is we really, from the beginning, we had a lot of internal conversations just about keeping it simple, building quickly, but making sure what we're building it makes sense, you know? And I think we're at the point now where everything that we're building, everything that we've done, everything that we launched, it all makes sense to kind of like the identity that we're building of the arcade. And now it's just, the idea was extremely necessary, especially after gauging market sentiment through our mint in June, on June 9th to the 10th. It's really been just such a fun process to build with these guys. And we started off as a team of three. A lot of probably our story is we all grew up together. We all know each other in real life. We're all very close. So it's been really cool to actually take on a project in the Web3 space with like friends that you know in real life, which is a little unheard of. I'm aware, like in the world of anonymous, but for us, it's just been really cool to like build, to kind of rubber duck off one another, to overload Norris with coding and just just kind of do all that stuff. And at the same time, we realized that what we're building may pivot at one point in a good way, just to kind of as we expand and build out our team. But the community's been so understanding of just everything that we've done, both big and small. So again, we can't thank you all enough. And there's just so many builders and so many awesome projects in the Kadena space right now. And we just feel really lucky to be in this position to be doing a token, doing an IDO, but also being able to build and do what we love. So it's just been really unique for all of us because this is all just such a new and exciting space.
Well, I have to say, for such a small team, for what you guys have built in 8 short months is pretty remarkable to me. I have to say, the website, although it's very simple, is also very pleasing to the eye. easy to navigate. Everything works functionally the way it should. Like it's just, you're obviously bringing forth a product that is of a good quality value, and there's really nowhere else to go but up. And it's just a matter now of, like you've said, expanding, which the IDO and everything is a major part of. So let's get a little bit deeper into the IDO, because some information has been released in the last day or so. For example, the dates of registration and allocation and whitelist and all of those have been released. So we're going to be looking at the 29th of this month. We're going to be looking at registration opening. Now, what's going to be the registration process if anyone wants to go through that?
Yeah, so the registration process will be through KDL. You'll have to KYC. If you have KYC for previous IDOs with KDL, you'll be good to go. They actually just told us today that we'll be implementing a whitelist gathering feature. So rather than collecting K addresses, which can get messy and some can get lost in the fray here and there, we'll be generating unique codes for all of our whitelisted members, and that unique code will take them directly to the KDL's website. It'll tell them if they've KYC'd. If they've KYC'd, it'll tell them if they're whitelisted. If not, it'll walk them through the steps of getting whitelisted. So it's a very streamlined process. And registration, like you mentioned, begins on the 29th. So we're really excited about that. And we already have a few whitelist giveaways going. So we just announced our Telegram is open today. We have 25 whitelist spots after 200 members. I think we're already at like 150 members. Let me check right now. We're at
153
153
right now.
Yeah. So after 47 more members, quick math there, we will hand out 25 whitelist spots in there. And I believe we have another giveaway going as well. Yeah, so we have a giveaway with Capybara token as well. We're actually going to announce the winners of that tonight. So if you haven't entered that, go ahead. It's like the last hour to enter that. 3 Arkade IDO whitelist spots up for grabs there. And then obviously we're going to be ramping up even more giveaways as we get closer to registration on the 29th.
Awesome. Yeah, there's always lots of opportunities, it looks like, for people to get whitelists. So once they're and also if you guys haven't joined the Telegram, t.me/arcade fun, make sure you guys get in there. There's only another, still 153. So like you said, 47 more people, and then they'll be giving away some whitelist spots. So if you haven't joined up, make sure you guys jump in there right now. So looking at a little bit more details that are released about the IDO. You're going to be it's going to be whitelist and KDL holders round. So obviously the people who already invested in KDL will get a round of their own, which makes sense, being that KDL is your launch pad. And then fair distribution rounds. Now for these things, I assume we're way too early to talk any kind of values. I assume that would be correct.
Yeah, we haven't announced any numbers yet. Expect those in the next week or so. So soft cap, hard cap, all of the nitty-gritty details about the numbers. So just look out for that in the next week here.
So along with getting in, not just also getting in early to the IDO and things like that, what kind of perks will people see for being early investors in the project? Is there any kind of benefits that come along with jumping in on this process?
Yes, so we did announce a few rewards for early investors in the Medium article. One of them being an NFT airdrop. We haven't announced what NFT. It's going to be really cool. It's going to align with our retro vibe. Maybe a little more retro than we've seen. So that maybe just a little subtle hint there. An early access to NFT projects launching on our launchpad. So as you've seen, we've had the Lazy Apes and the Komodos launch with the Punks coming up. Obviously, those are all happening pre-IDO, but all post-IDO launchpad projects. All of our IDO investors will have early access to, and then early access to the side scroller game we're developing, and we dropped sneak peeks in that Medium article at KDL dropped. It's very, very beta, very early development. We'll hopefully aiming to have a preview within the next couple of weeks here. I might be giving up too much alpha. Norizzi might be like yelling at me under his breath for all the alpha I'm giving right now. But yeah, so we're expecting a possible, trailer for the game in the next couple of weeks. So early access to that as well. So a lot of perks coming for our IDO investors, which is really exciting.
Guys, this game is I think we should give some alpha. This game is incredible.
Bro, give
Like
alpha.
this game,
Let's go.
bro. This game is next level. It's gonna power a lot of the things within within the marketplace as well, which is crazy. So I won't go into too much details there, but this isn't just another one of our games like Tetris or Snake. Like, yes, those are fun. People are still DMing me about crazy high scores they've achieved. Like, those are still awesome. This is next level. This is a game you're gonna sit, for hours and understand and play, and it's in depth. There's a lot of detail. There's a lot of moving parts. You're gonna feel immersed within it. You're gonna feel connected to your character, the storyline. This, we've been working on this for weeks and haven't said anything, so you can hear it pouring out of me right now. But I'm sad, it's such a small group this time. But so you guys are lucky to hear this, but yeah, this game, it's super exciting. We got some really talented devs building this with Unity as well. So it's not just a front end JavaScript game. So there's just a lot more, like I said, moving parts to it. So really, really exciting. You guys will see.
Yeah, I was looking through the pictures and reading a little blurb about the game. I have one question about the characters. Now, all these people have bought these awesome Kadena Bulls NFTs. Any chance of integrating those into the game where I could play as one of the bulls I own?
Dude, that is, that would be so cool. Immediately, immediately no. Unfortunately, immediately no. It's so complicated.
Sounds like this has come up before.
Yeah, definitely. We've talked about it so many times. We've tried to find solutions, and like there's solutions. It just takes a while. There's so many different traits, right? There's so many different traits, so many moving parts. Is like, do you own it? Do you not own it anymore? You have to hit the contract. There's a lot of different moving parts with that. So it's not a very easy solution.
Also,
but like I said, yeah, go ahead.
Why limit ourselves to bulls, right? I mean,
oh yeah, right.
Don't you own a few other NFTs, Chris? Didn't you mention you bought a few, Komodos and apes?
Oh, for sure. For sure. It'd be neat to see all of the different Kadena characters in the game. Yeah, I'm part of other atmospheres. Like there's another NFT group for Elrond, the coin Elrond, and they have another game with like Mario Kart. And they've partnered with a bunch of NFT projects and integrated their NFTs into their game so that you can play as those characters that you raced as. So that's where I was getting this idea. It'd be amazing to see an 80s nostalgic pixel side-scrolling game with all of these amazing pixel projects that are coming out. Like you could even make them boss characters, things like that. There's just so much you could probably do with this that I'm sure you guys have all discussed this before.
Yep. So I've been on FaceTimes with these two guys until like 4 a.m. just talking crazy things. I know I drive them a little crazy, but this has definitely came up, and it's one of the things that like initially from the start that we talked about developing and doing. Thankfully, we have the launch pad, so a little alpha there. We have the launch pad, so definitely room for partnerships, and there's a lot more coming that we haven't really discussed. But I just wanted to kind of say, like, from the beginning, one of the things that I kind of wanted us to work by was simplicity is a key to brilliance. So that's kind of been the way that we've been kind of building the game, and we're keeping it simple. And these are all things that are like on our vision board of where we can kind of like evolve the game into. But definitely what you're saying, like we've had a conversation and we all like, I don't know if you saw, but we all took our mute off when you said that because we all couldn't help but like smile about it. So awesome ideas, man. I'm not familiar with that game in particular, but it sounds like they're kind of in the same spot that we are slash were. And it's cool to hear that they like they brought on partner companies and brands and things that they've worked with as well.
You know, it would be really cool. This is me just brainstorming here, but
All right, guys,
this
I
would
gotta
definitely
go.
take this would definitely take a long time, but like Super Smash Bros type game with all the different NFTs, that would be
Oh
so sick.
man. Oh wow. All right. Well,
Animate
Trace, it
So
was
all of the
nice
different
talking. We're
NFTs.
gonna
Yeah.
we're gonna have to go have an internal meeting right now. I think we've got some ideas.
did you guys ever watch on MTV Celebrity Team Deathmatch? That would be
uh,
crazy.
Yes, I did.
I watched
That
Cribs.
would.
Is that similar?
I don't think that's relevant.
No, it's especially like you guys said earlier about making a product first and building out something without all of this promise. Like you mentioned, there's so many projects out there that are promising the moon to their investors, and like things like we're gonna build this crazy metaverse with our NFTs, and it's like you realize that unless you're like Meta or like Meta slash Facebook and have billions of dollars, like making these things is no simple, like, something you can do at home on your PC computer in your spare time. Like this involves, millions of dollars in most cases, huge teams, you got sound, you got video, you got all these different components that come into building these games. But to build something that's more 2D side scroller, that's a little bit more feasible for a smaller team to put out and everything. So, and it's definitely something that you can perfect and just keep building upon and just increasing its potential and value every time you come out with a new version of it, or the next like Super Bowl 2 or whatever, have
Yeah.
different releases.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think I forgot who mentioned simplicity, but it's so important in today's gaming world to realize how powerful simplicity is. And I think the best example is Minecraft. How popular Minecraft is across the globe, and it probably has the widest demographic in terms of age. Yet it's such a simple game at its core, but people just know how to take that simplicity and run with it. They come up with the most creative ways to build upon it. And you see that with 2D side scrollers. You see that with like speed runs and different in-game exploits from classic games that are still happening to this day. So it's really, really, really uh, powerful to see how like far the simplicity of these games can be taken by the community.
Exactly. And just to add on that too, another thing that we really wanted to just talk about is communities respect and understand, like they're so more receptive to transparency throughout an entire process. So like the perfect example that I kind of want to mention, I believe it was like 2016, 2017 was No Man's Sky. Awesome game, awesome trailers. Like now they got it together, but the initial launch, if anyone played that or remembered, was so rough. Like the community felt jaded by pretty much everything that the devs had promised, and it took them almost like 2 or 3 years to kind of like get that whole fiasco under control and actually make it like the game they promised. They rushed development, they rushed everything, and when the first game came out, everyone who spent money was like filing chargebacks and like disputing with Steam because they felt cheated by the developers. And that's just something that I think in today's gaming world of like remakes and just kind of copycat games and all the games being like the same genre is just something that we really wanted to like be mindful of and just be like, okay, keep it simple, start with this and let's see where it goes. Let's figure out the gaming mechanics. Let's see where it goes. I don't know if any of you play like CS 1.6 or CS Source or even Counter-Strike Go or Diablo 2 or any of these games. But these games all have different mechanics that die-hard day one fan bases all hate. So like in Diablo 2, there's something called weapon switch glitch where if you switch your weapons quickly, you can break out of locks in PvP. And the new Diablo 2 Remastered or Resurrected doesn't have that. So a big player base of these PvP worlds, which fuels a lot of the economy, aren't playing the new game. And it's very PVM heavy, which is player versus monster. And there's so many factors and just so many edge cases that we wanted to kind of bring to the table and be like, let's not do this with what we're building. Let's keep it as simple as we can, as Alaf had mentioned, Arkade, and let's just build from there. And like we said, this is so fun, man, and we're having such a good time building everything out. But I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm a pretty big game geek. So I'm the one in everyone's ear telling them like, this is how we have to do it, blah blah blah. This is like the way we go. But it's been really cool to work with an actual studio, because even the best developers in the world, making a game is like a completely different skill set and so hard. So we've really just had to kind of take it one step at a time, like and not venture off and make the next Super Smash Brothers on some console that will develop. And it's just, we're keeping it as simple as we can. So stay tuned for everything. I might go a little freestyle here as well, but I see someone's raising their hand.
Well, it's funny that you bring up No Man's Sky, though, too. I went through that exact thing. I bought that game at launch, and I felt that exact way. But now that game is absolutely amazing. Like, it's winning awards. It's what it's evolved into. And like you said, it was just a matter of pushing out a product before it was what they were promised. So like, I forget where this acronym always comes from, right? Of keep it simple, stupid, KISS, like keep it simple. Like, if you keep it simple enough, that will reach the widest audience. You don't want to keep, just a certain view, like you said, with the Diablo thing, them just making that one slight little change just alienated a whole bunch of players, and you don't want to do that. You want to keep things simple. You want to keep things organized and in a evolving pattern that brings everyone along with it for the ride.
Guys, and there's a story here that we're telling too. Speaking of taking everyone along for a ride, is our whole brand from the get-go has been based around nostalgia. We find nostalgia something very powerful, getting to connect back to who you were as a kid, when like you didn't have the same worries that you have now as an adult. Obviously depending on how you grew up and everything, everyone's situation was different, but there was that type of I guess like when you were playing a game or whatever you were doing as a kid, you didn't have like the similar responsibilities that we have right now. You're able to just get lost in these different worlds, right? So we want to take everyone along this journey of developing these games, kind of taking you back in time, keeping the game simple at first, right? And then slowly iterating on them as if you're literally time traveling again. You get to see our original side scroller game. I won't talk too much, but our original game get to morph as if you're traveling from the past into what is now the present, which is the future. Okay, that's going to get complicated, but you get what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Sort of like original Mario Brothers to say Mario World 64.
Exactly.
That evolution.
Yeah,
100%.
if you guys remember the evolution of dancing videos, just take that concept and apply it to the evolution of gaming, right? So
and the same thing that we're doing. Oh, sorry, my bad.
I was just repeating what you said. You're going to see the games evolve over time, which is really cool.
Just like our NFTs are evolving from the pixel to the 90s to the 2000s 3D, similar type of concept.
We have a live question that Equal Bet has sent me over Twitter, wondering what are your opinions on the hosts on Star Citizen? I'm sure you guys are familiar with Star Citizen.
I personally am not familiar with Star Citizen, unfortunately.
Sorry, Equal Bet. It sounds like your gaming question may be out of the realm.
I have to go play it. I have to go play Star Citizen now.
I've heard of it. I'm not really a huge, you know, building up your forts, your teams, and attacking and stuff like that. But you know, to each their own. I'm more of a first-person shooter gamer myself nowadays, but everyone has their things. But I still love the nostalgia games. Like you can always go back to those games, like you said, that as a kid they give you that warm feeling, and they'll always do that. I remember, you know, I got a Nintendo when I was the very first time I played that old Nintendo / Duck Hunt cartridge, you know, and playing Duck Hunt with my dad as a little kid, and Nintendo as a kid and stuff like that. It's just
Nice.
to bring the two worlds together and to bring that back into your life is definitely something that's going to bring someone in. But then you add on all the awesome tools that you've built on top of your project that just will keep people coming back for more.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Now you have to go snipe a duck hunt background bull from the marketplace.
Yeah,
Grow
I'll
playing
have to
duck
look for
hunt.
one.
If there's one listed out there. But yeah, I mean, it's really like everyone has been saying on this call. It's just fun to play these games. That's why we're arcade.fun, you know. um, so, and we're constantly getting new ideas from our Discord members. Hopefully from our Telegram members, now that our Telegram is open, to implement new features into our game. It's going to be a community driven game. If there are new ideas, we're going to look for ways to implement it. And we really want our community to feel like they're driving the development here. Because in the end, they're the ones playing it. They're the ones that want to have fun playing it. And we want to ensure there's that sense of fun playing the game. It's not like I'm blanking on the name of that one game that's just impossible. I'm sure. Oh, Snow dropped off from speaking. What's that one game? Let me look it up. It just released. It's like notoriously one of the hardest games to play, with like the hardest boss levels from the get go. You know, and those games are like stressful to play, right? You don't want
You
that.
know what I'm talking about, at least not me, because nothing's hard for me.
Oh, we got a gamer, actually gamer, huh? Hardcore gaming.
Well, that's what happens when you say everything's easy mode, bro.
That's the best way to play.
Easy mode, invincibility mode.
I'll tell you what, I think one of the best games to play right now is the new MLB The Show on the easiest mode possible, because anytime I put dynamic difficulty on, it ruins my day. So I'm with you. I'm playing on the easiest setting. That's the best way to enjoy a game in 2022.
Yeah,
For
especially when
sure,
there's like
I agree with that.
9-year-old kids just coming out of nowhere, just crazy new
Making-
skills.
Making
I have
millions on Twitch.
I have a younger brother who he's going into 6th grade, and every time he plays a game with me, I actually get mad, because I'm like, how did you do that? And I'm sitting here like looking at him like, what did you push? And he won't tell me. So yeah, these kids these days are different. Let me just I can vouch that statement.
I can't wait to bet on 9-year-old teams through Equal Bet Esports.
Please say wagering for the sake of the call. Thank you.
Equal Bet are venturing into the realm of esports, so I'm really excited to degen all of my money on League of Legends.
Oh man, that's insane.
Well, make sure you wager and gamble responsibly out there, kids.
Not financial advice, of course.
Not financial advice
I mean-
in any way possible.
Opinions are our own.
Yeah, that's an okay financial advice. Don't be stupid with your money. That's a pretty good one. I'm okay putting that one. I'll stand behind that one, even in court. Don't be stupid with your money.
Don't bet anything you're not willing to just throw down the crapper. All right, so besides, you got the game coming out, which is absolutely amazing. You got your IDO coming up through KDA launch. People can go ahead right now and check out their Twitter, go through it. There's a few different giveaways going on. Like they said, with Capybara tokens got one going on, and a few others. They got their Telegram channel, which is now up to 157. So you got 43 more people until they're doing another giveaway for, what was it, 20 whitelist slots, I believe it was. And yeah, make sure you guys get in on that. What other alpha you guys have to share? Anything else you guys want to talk about or bring up that you haven't already shared? You've already let go quite a few things today. I'm sure that a little more than you probably maybe planned on.
Let's just say some account may have hinted at something at a possible announcement. Not us, but one of our friends may have hinted at an announcement in the next week or so. So a little scavenger hunt. Maybe you can find that hint somewhere on Twitter. And then one more piece of alpha is, I believe I dropped this in our Discord a few days ago. We do have our marketplace, as we mentioned previously, and we really, really want to award active users in the marketplace. So anyone that transacts with the marketplace, whether it's minting a project, buying, or selling, let's just say we're going to have a way to award them for their efforts and for their activity.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I've been minting a bunch.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's just say we're gamifying everything.
Everything. And then
everything on Arkade will be a game. Every
A
transaction you execute, every packed transaction will be gamified.
That would be funny, like a way that to sign your transaction, you have to beat this round Pac-Man.
That'd be insane.
Oh yeah, that would be crazy. Not really what I meant, but what I meant is like you will be rewarded. You will be rewarded for transacting on our Arkade. Sorry, Snow, I keep cutting you off. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're all good, man.
I know you make...
No, another thing too, just a couple smaller alphas that are like kind of public, but people may not know. We've made our onboarding process for our Launchpad public as well. So for any potential projects out there that feel like applying and maybe just giving it a shot, we've made that public. So you're able to kind of go through the onboarding now on arcade.fun, and we'll redirect you to our form to fill out, and we'll be in touch. Another thing that I've been working on in the background with Narizi a little bit is revamping our merch shop. I pushed it back a few weeks, but I know a lot of people are asking me questions about when can I get so-and-so, and I probably will be launching that this upcoming weekend, maybe even by today, just depends on a few things on my end. But essentially, we'll be verifying your ownership of an NFT for certain things. So that is something to look out for. And then also we have a partnership onboarding too that we will be putting in Discord later today. I may do it after this call, which is a form that is just a simple 3-question process to make it easy to partner with us, to host the spaces with us or anything. Because currently a lot of people are relying and posting in general and submitting tickets and things. So we wanted to make that process a bit more streamlined and organized as well. So just kind of wanted to put that out there for anyone that was maybe wondering, or if that was in the back of their mind, I just wanted to answer that kind of impromptu as well.
Now, in case anyone's listening that has a project that may want to get onto the Launchpad, is there any minimum criteria? Like they must have smart contracts ready, they must have XXX ready?
Nope. We pretty much, you have to figure out your art and things like that. That's one of the questions. We just want to know if it's generated. But that may change in the future as well. That's just something that we've talked about it, but we're keeping it simple for now, as we mentioned throughout this whole call. But we do also ask a KYC question if you're willing to be doxxed, which is extremely important. And that's pretty much it. We can help you and pretty much do everything else. It's pretty much, it's a tailored one-on-one experience. And these 3 projects that we've been working with have been absolutely amazing, but it also gave us a lot of valuable data to help expand both ourselves and other projects that come with us, and reward them for being able to take their trust in us this early on, and kind of like, let us do this for them. Because I think that we we're one of the first quote unquote, like, not launch pads necessarily, I don't want to say, but we were one of the first people to help outside projects mint on Kadena. So it's really cool.
Right. Kind of the process, and someone feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, was, how minting kind of started on Kadena. I believe KittyCad was first to mint. They created a beautifully written smart contract to mint these NFTs, and created some custom solutions before Marmalade was what it is now. And then Gaina is also, I don't know the exact order, like I said, correct me if I'm wrong, but they created also another beautiful contract for a marketplace. So they didn't do a lot of marketing, but they've had a marketplace up for you to, buy gallinas, chickens, buy eggs for them to hatch, and trade them on a marketplace. And their contracts have been open source this whole time, and it's been great. And I've been working hand in hand with both of them. I've been learning a lot from them, and they kind of helped me first off mint the '80s Bulls that we had launched, that we minted out, and then create that marketplace, and then also create the launchpad as well. So we are the first ever, you could call us, I guess, part of our product is helping projects launch. So that's extremely exciting, and we do have a way as well to be integrated into the marketplace after you launch. So yeah, we haven't really pushed it that much publicly since we've been focused really on these first three projects. But I guess this is our first announcement. Here we go, guys. We're Launchpad. Come launch with us. So crazy marketing announcement.
And another thing too, I know one thing that we've actually had a lot of internal discussions with was kind of just figuring out our identity. Because it's like when someone asks us what we are, we're like, so what are you guys? Are you an NFT project? Are you a launchpad? Are you a play to earn gaming experience? Are you like, there's so many different ways that we could take it, right? And I think the best way for us, like we said it, it's like we're an arcade. When you go to an arcade, there you can buy stuffed animals with tickets. You can do this. You can game. You can have fun. Like, there's so many things. So I just think that the best way to put it is like we're like I don't know. I don't want to. I feel like I'm going to say something. I'm going to regret what I'm going to say. So I'm just going to say we're an arcade, and I'm just going to like let that kind of marinate.
It's sad though that arcades are kind of becoming a thing of the past. Like when I was a kid, places like Chuck E. Cheese and stuff were amazing. They had everything you'd want. They had arcade games. They had pool tables. They had other games that you could throw balls like skee ball and all these things. And it's like you said, it's a place where it was everything you needed kind of under one roof for what you want. Now, when it comes to NFTs, obviously it's going to be a little different, but having everything all under one roof is what you really want to look for. Now, it's amazing to hear that you guys are actually starting to open up and bring in other projects. Now, a lot of these projects that we're seeing are obviously generative NFTs, that have multiple layers and things like that. Now, I used to myself dabble in the NFT game, but mine were one of ones that I made custom myself. Is there any plans for the future of adding that capability for artists to come in and sell, say, one-offs?
Does anyone? All right.
Yeah, I can answer that. I can answer. I mean, we haven't spoken about it. We're really focused on large collections at the moment, with utility use cases, and like we'll in the long run have a return for their investors. But it's a possibility if people want to list their one of one on our marketplace in the future. There's the possibility of integrating that. They won't have to go through the launchpad process, obviously, because it's just a one of one NFT that they want to mint. So it'd be a different process to upload that to the marketplace to be bought and sold. But I don't see why not.
Yeah, so there's other services where like you could that one-off one person could come in, use your service to mint their one of one art onto the blockchain, which then get sent right to their wallet, which then they can list on your marketplace. Is kind of the idea.
Mm-hmm. Right. I think for right now, we do want to keep it pretty curated, right? We want to be able to verify the projects that come on board. And if they don't want to launch with us and they just want to, have one that's listed on there, we don't have any plans of allowing them to just mint one and listing it. However, we've had several projects reach out. I think the only one we can say publicly right now because they announced it is KittyCad. So they would want to, I'll use them as an example. Is like we would just interact with their contract and list them on our marketplace, as long as those functions are available and have the same standard that we do. We can go ahead and list them on our marketplace, no problem. But we do want to, for a while, take a curated approach. Definitely, we do want quality, trusted projects on our platform, whether it's Launchpad or Marketplace.
Correct. And another thing too with the one of ones is it also depends on the story, the narrative, and just everything that kind of comes along with that. So it's something that we talked about. It was a very brief conversation because we just decided that we're going to focus on larger collections at this point in time with how early the ecosystem is in terms of marketplaces and mints itself and everything else. But it's something really cool where if an inspiring artist or someone had a story to tell, they wanted to do like a one of one type thing to bootstrap a larger collection, larger vision, larger utility, whatever. That's obviously a case by case basis, but for the time being, as Norris mentioned and Alaf, is that we just don't necessarily. It's not right now, but it's definitely something that we haven't counted out, and we may come back to that in the future, like much later in the future, like as we kind of get more use cases, build and build and build and scale more. But definitely, I do understand where you're coming from, and I like your idea, and I'd be interested to see what one of ones you got as well, or made back in the day, I should say.
Yeah, for sure. I'll definitely shoot you guys over it's on the Elrond blockchain, but I'll shoot you over a link of everything. So it was just like little pixel art that people took my little dabble in making pixel art. I was going to work it into a generative series, but then real life and real work got in the way. So I decided to just, let's just push that to the side, maybe for another day. Oh, it's the worst. So while we were talking here, we were mentioning, you mentioned the duck hunt bulls. I managed to snag one off the marketplace, and I'll tell everyone,
really? Nice.
super easy process. Just a few clicks. You got especially if you have your X wallet extension built in, and just super easy. And now it's in my wallet and it's mine. So, and it's kind of fitting. He's shirtless with a mask on. So I've been known to go shirtless and sometimes wear a mask. So
I'm here for it.
Got a lot in common.
Oh, I'm here for it. I just got back from Berlin, and if any of you guys are in Berlin, I was having a great time. So I'm here for it. Good purchase, man. Thank you.
No problem. So lots of alpha you guys have laid out tonight. It sounds like you guys have a whole whack in store and lots of stuff to be working on in the coming months. Coming month, I should say, because your IDO is right around the corner, starting next month. So very exciting stuff. I'm very excited that you guys were able to join us today. If you have anything else that you want to share, or if anyone listening has any questions and they want to step up, please send an invite to speak, and we'll get you in here. But I know I, for one, have absolutely learned so much more about this project. When I first started looking into the games and playing them, I was like, oh, these games are kind of cool, but then when I started reading the articles coming out and learning more, and as soon as I saw that side scrolling game, I was like, okay, I'm sold. This project's definitely in it for the long haul and building something that's very special and something that is definitely new to the ecosphere, and something that I can actually see as being a possibility and being made. Like as you said, like a lot of pictures, a lot of projects wish or promise the moon, but you guys are actually coming to the table with products. So that's amazing to see. So if you guys have anything else you want to add, I think it's just been absolutely amazing to video, and I know I'll be trying to sneak in a little bit for sure.
Appreciate all the time. Appreciate you inviting us on. It's always great to hop on these spaces and spill some alpha. It's honestly one of my favorite perks of the job. We're just having fun with it. So always a pleasure. And again, if you have any questions but you don't want to speak, we're in Discord basically 24/7. Just at one of us, Kadi, Snow, Norizzy, or just DM the Arkade account. I run it. I'm always checking DMs, so feel free if you have any questions but are too shy to speak. I'm always around. Thank you again.
And don't forget, join the Telegram channel. They're up to 163 now, so they got 37 more to go until they'll be doing their 20 whitelist spot giveaway. So if you haven't joined their their Telegram channel, make sure you do. Obviously, Arcade Fun is the name there, so make sure you guys join up there as well.
Yeah, join there, and then watch out for an announcement in the coming week. Like I said, an Easter egg out there if you want to go Easter egg hunting for a little hint on that. Appreciate the time.
Yeah, thank you so much for the support and the time, man. We're excited to see those one-of-ones you made, and I hope you all reach out to us if you have any questions. And thank you again for hosting us.
Of course, anytime, you guys are always welcome here. Just shoot us a message and we'll be more than willing to accommodate you guys. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming out. It's been an absolutely amazing talk tonight. I want to thank all the team from Arkade for coming. And yeah, everyone take care.
That wraps up another amazing AMA. Thank you for listening. Here at KPN, we strive to bring an open platform for projects being built on Kadena to present themselves to the community. Please ensure to do your own research on each project before investing. Also, make sure to follow us on our social media, from Twitter to subscribing to our weekly newsletter. All the links can be found directly on our SoundCloud profile page. Thank you very much for listening, and take care.